But you are seeing the GOP's focus on this border crisis, which there is a bill. They could pass it, bipartisan bill out of the Senate. Joe Biden wants to sign it. They're paying attention to that. And then Tom Suozzi is winning George Santos' seat last night. And guess what Tom Suozzi did? He ran on closing the border. It is the pathway for Democrats to win, and I think you'll see that in these swing districts.
Okay.
But the main message is Democrats continue to overperform in the Joe Biden era, and we're unified. Kathy Hochul, who probably hates Tom Suozzi more than anyone else on the planet for running against her, campaigned for him. Hakeem Jeffries mobilized. AOC came out and said, I'm on the same page as Tom Suozzi.
Once again, Jessica Tarver over on Fox News doing God's work. The problem is it's falling on deaf ears.
On Monday night, Suozzi rightfully predicting that early voting would put him over the top. Yesterday's election was a lesson in why the new paradigm of voting early or voting absentee, mail-in ballots is important because as he was just talking about with early voting, according to the New York Times, 80,000 voted early through Sunday and 11,000 more registered Democrats cast votes than the Republicans. Also, there was a big snowstorm and the officials were saying stay off the streets. And maybe some did.
One lady who was trying to vote, she said the roads were horrible. Cars were swerving all over the place. The thing is, most Republicans vote in person. So yesterday, when that snowstorm rolled in, that was probably definitely affected the election.
We already know that the Republicans have a problem with the border because this bill that one of the most conservative members in Senate negotiated, bipartisan bill to secure the border, that gives Republican concessions that Democrats in the past would have never agreed to, is being rejected because Donald Trump needs an issue to run on.
You just said, Senator, that you were looking for some provisions that would improve, right? And when you go through this, and I understand that people on both sides have very big, differences over this, but you don't think there were some provisions in there that were worth moving on?
I can't predict the future. I have to wait for it like everybody else. But I don't see how anybody could look at this bill and confidently predict it would have been an improvement.
Well, the chief of the Border Patrol just said exactly that. Don't you think that he probably knows better than anybody what would have helped his people out a little bit?
And I have great respect for him, but I disagree with him.
As you know, though, the Senate is poised to release the bill text today, Mr. Speaker. Let's talk about what is in it. We haven't seen all of the details yet, but it is expected to speed up the asylum process, mandate DHS shut down the border during surges, end so-called catch and release, which you just mentioned, and expand migrant detentions, just to name a few of the things that it does. Will you put a bill like that on the floor for a vote, given that you're saying we have to address the crisis at the border?
Well, you're addressing some of the rumors about what are in this text. It's been negotiated behind closed doors by a small handful of persons, and even most of the members of the Senate don't know what's in it.
Republican senators decided they don't want a bipartisan bill to fix the border. What they actually want is chaos, because that's what Donald Trump says he wants. What the hell just happened?
That's right. Donald Trump does not feel comfortable running on the economy no more. We hear Republicans saying that they cannot run on the economy because it's doing so well. So they are falsely making this an issue, meaning instead of securing the border by signing this bill, by passing this bill and pushing it to the president to sign, they are instead letting it die so that they can have a political issue. But what we just saw in Santos' special election district was Democrats actually ran on securing the border and actually won that election. Republicans may have shot themselves in the foot this time in a serious way. They screamed about fentanyl coming across the border. They screamed about thugs coming across the border. They screamed about terrorists coming across the border. And then they wouldn't secure the border because Donald Trump said he needed that issue to run on in 2024. And they went along with it. And that is disgusting. I'm Mondale Robinson. Don't be a disgusting Republican who will not secure the border.